Hello and welcome to another presentation of Dyscovery Education. My name is Erin Boersma and I will be discussing assistive technology for school-age children with dysautonomia. Before we get started, I want to let you know a little bit about me. I'm an occupational therapist who works with kids age 2 to 10 in a pediatric outpatient clinic on the eastern side of Michigan. I have been involved with the dysautonomia community since a 2018 grad school project, and I've been a member of the Education and Awareness team since 2020. I enjoy being a part of this amazing team and have helped to produce some of the listed handbooks through DSN, as well as other content for social media posts and research dissemination. Today, we're going to be looking at what exactly assistive technology, also known as AT, is, the two subsections of high-tech and low-tech, identifying specific types of AT based on symptoms, and wrapping it up with some final words about AT cost and how to navigate within the school system. First, I want to go over what exactly I mean by assistive technology. According to the Assistive Technology Industry Association, assistive technology includes any products, systems, and equipment that enhance the learning, working, and living for individuals with disabilities. They go on to explain it can include physical items such as equipment or software programs that can help maintain, increase, or improve functional capabilities. As one thinks about incorporating assistive technology into your everyday life, here's a good way to identify if you or your child are a good candidate and what needs to change. First, what are your goals? You are the best judge to determine what you and your child's goals are. You are living everyday life, and you know what things are the most time-consuming, energy-consuming, and remaining dependent on others for, etc. So think about what activities are challenging. Is it remembering all of the assignments on a daily basis, having enough energy for the entire school day, writing tasks, etc., which are some examples for school-specific AT? What is inhibiting your involvement? What about each task is difficult? Is it fatigue, orthostatic intolerance, joint hypermobility, brain fog, etc.? Think about what parts of the task are the most time-consuming, what you or your child are unable to complete independently or in a timely manner. Think about, is it the environment? Is it the objects? Is it the time of day? And then, is the task environment specific? Are there time constraints set in stone? Think about what things cannot change and what areas where things could change. And lastly, professionals such as occupational therapists, as like myself, are trained in analyzing tasks and helping to identify devices, strategies, etc. that could help with everyday tasks. A referral to OT can be made by your primary care provider. Now that we know what assistive technology is and how you can think about determining need, let's check out the two different subtypes of AT, high-tech and low-tech, and what sets each of these apart. High-tech assistive technology are typically electronically powered, such as devices or equipment. They may or may not require additional training to use. With this definition in mind, can you think of anything that might fit into this category? Some examples of high-tech AT that you may have thought of are smartphone applications, dictation or speech recognition, adaptive keyboards, screen readers, word prediction, navigation apps, accessibility features, and many more. I will go into further details about specific types later on in this presentation. Low-tech assistive technology, on the other hand, are devices and/or tools that do not require batteries or include an electronic component. They're generally more commercially available, found at local drugstores, national stores such as Target or Walmart, and local stores, and are often straightforward to use. Given this information, can you guess any low-tech examples? Some examples you may or may not have thought of are tub and/or shower chairs, elastic or no-tie shoelaces, magnifying devices, large print books, pencil grips, grab bars, and wobble chairs. Examples specific for school-age children will be given further on in this presentation. Now that we know what assistive technology is, how to determine need, and understanding the differences between high-tech and low-tech devices, we are going to look at specific types of AT that might be helpful for you and your child based on different symptoms. We're going to start with fatigue and/or brain fog. Keeping track of where you are in a day, remembering changes to schedule, and jumping back into a routine or schedule at a moment's notice can be difficult when experiencing brain fog. Visual schedules can be personalized to the student's needs, adapted as needed, and changed from day to day or week to week as needed. Based on the student's abilities, these schedules can include only pictures, only words, or a combination of either. They can even include boxes to check off things as they are completed. Templates or examples can be found online that are free and modifiable or purchased for more adaptations. Remaining attentive for extended periods of time can be challenging during flare-ups of fatigue and/or brain fog, making listening and taking notes in class difficult. It will be important to collaborate with the teacher to ensure that permission is granted before going down this route of using recording devices. Recording can allow for multiple playbacks when having difficulty understanding a concept or to catch up on lessons that were difficult to understand in real time. Options can include using a cellular device such as an Android or an iPhone. Other devices can be purchased that have a designated recording purpose, including wearable devices by teachers. Word finding difficulties can become more prominent when experiencing brain fog and/or fatigue. So word prediction softwares or programs are built into common devices, including Apple and Android, and can also be found in common word processing documents such as Google Docs and Microsoft applications. To learn more about how to set up these programs on the device best suited for you, follow the QR code and bit.ly link at the end of this presentation. If handwriting or word recall are made more challenging by brain fog and fatigue, SnapType can help turn any worksheet into an online document. If you download the free SnapType app, you can take a picture of the worksheet and then utilize a keyboard to type in the answers. These worksheets can then be shared via uploading to cloud, sent in an email, or printed in order to turn it in based on a teacher's preferences. Remind is a free app that teachers, students, and parents can use to communicate via a computer app or Google account. Assignments, directions, or notes can be directly uploaded into the app for students to find when they need it. Announcements can be made about upcoming tests, changes in schedules, etc. Teachers can also communicate in real time with parents about how their child is doing on any day. On days when reading text is difficult to focus on or comprehend due to fatigue, screen readers can turn all written words into an audio message. Screen readers can be found via accessibility features on devices, including laptops and phones, downloaded apps, or via software programs. To learn more about how to access screen readers on your device, find the direct resources at the end of this presentation. Keeping track of due dates, assignments, and tests is hard enough on any given day, but on days when brain fog and fatigue make concentration even work, homework planning apps can help to take away some of the stress. I've included names of some of the apps that can be found on various devices. All the listed applications are free, but may include some in-app purchases for further features. These can be shared with parents or teachers to help keep your student accountable and on top of things when they need it. Fatigue and/or hypermobility can make daily assignments with writing utensils more complicated. To promote increased endurance, you can change the size of the tool or have removable options that can be added as needed or removed as needed. Pencils or pens of a larger diameter provide less stress on joints and require less effort to maintain a grasp on. There are various pencil grips that can be found online that can help with finger positioning or offer a larger surface area to grasp when fine motor fatigue is increased. Now we're going to look into what types of AT may be helpful when dealing with orthostatic intolerance. And now this section is mainly going to focus on seating changes to best promote ideal positioning and prevent venous pooling, but we'll include some other options as well. To help prevent blood pooling in the lower extremities and prevent syncope upon standing, having alternative seating options may be helpful for students at school. Sitting on an exercise ball facilitates weight shifting via activation of muscles in the glutes and legs. It can be fatiguing, so it should only be used as an option for shorter durations. Attaching a piece of TheraBand to the legs of a chair can be used to promote lower extremity pumps to facilitate lower body circulation. A simple stool can be available for leg propping to prevent blood pooling. A chair that offers a recline and leg elevation can be used to address symptoms of orthostatic intolerance, such as lightheadedness, rapid heart rate, fatigue, etc. These options may be a part of your student's daily seating needs or available as alternative options as needed when symptoms flare up. The following suggestions are some alternative seating options that could be incorporated into the school but would need to be discussed with the school and potentially be added into your child's IEP or 504. More information about accommodations can be found in our K-12 handbook, which will be discussed later on in this presentation. Some additional seating options may include beanbag chairs that offer flexible positioning based on the needs of the student. Wobble chairs allow for rocking back and forth, side to side, or in a circular motion, which can help to promote blood flow to the midsection and the legs. Rocker chairs promote movement of the legs to prompt circulation fully support the back while allowing some recline. On days when getting out of bed is challenging or when orthostatic intolerance makes positioning challenging, adaptive keyboards can help make using electronic devices easier. Adapted keyboards may have enlarged keys or offer different configurations of buttons for ergonomic purposes or for one-handed use. Some devices offer keyboards of differing sizes, which within the accessibility features. Bluetooth keyboards can be helpful to use when in bed or when screencasting onto a TV or a larger screen. Now that we've understood what AT is, the two different subtypes, and specific examples for symptoms, I'm going to briefly look at the cost of AT and how it can be introduced and or integrated into the school setting. While some of the ideas presented today may seem daunting, there are various ways to make these forms of AT affordable. Schools have a special education budget for learning materials, including technology, specifically laid out in an IEP. If a device is medically necessary as designated by a doctor, Medicaid or private insurances may be able to cover part or all of the expenses. Some devices are free or low cost and may be manageable out of pocket. If not, there are various funding sources who can help with AT and other medical devices. I've included a link to a guide to assist with outside funding for AT through ATIA that can be found through the QR code in bit.ly at the end of this presentation. And then I wanted to briefly discuss 504 plans and IEPs, also known as individual education plans, as they may or may not be a part of the assistive technology journey for you and your child. So a 504 plan details changes made to accommodate your child within a traditional school setting. IEPs, on the other hand, detail the specific special education services your child will receive in order to be successful in school. These processes involve evaluations through conversations with school officials to determine needs for services, establishing which services each child will receive each school year, and involve parental discussion, interview, and or involvement. While some of the devices talked about today are free, are things that are implemented for homework management or simple changes in school supplies, other devices are more complex. These devices may fall under accommodations and modifications under a 504 or IEP, which would be permitted within the school, within the class, and or provided by the school. To learn more about the differences between these two processes, who qualifies, and how to inquire about these, check out the Thriving in School, Navigating K-12 Education with Dysautonomia on the DSN website. A link to that handbook will be included at the end of this presentation. As previously mentioned, if you want to learn more about things discussed in this presentation regarding dysautonomia in the school setting, there is a handbook that goes into greater detail, which I've listed on the slide on the DSN website, which can be a great resource and is the resource for a large portion of my presentation. Another helpful handbook may be the Thriving with Assistive Technology handbook, which goes into greater detail about other assistive technologies for individuals with dysautonomia in daily living activities. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you're able to find some helpful takeaways today that can help make navigating the K-12 school system with dysautonomia just a little bit more manageable. I will leave this slide up as it includes a QR code that you can scan that will direct you to an online document with the various handbooks and the resources that I have mentioned during this presentation. Have a great day.